Hello everyone, welcome to our DaVinci Resolve basic tutorial. In this tutorial we'll cover the basics and get you going with DaVinci Resolve. Let's begin. When you open DaVinci Resolve, this is the first page that will come up. Cool thing about this page is that it lets you create folders and subfolders for your projects. So not all your projects are just listed here and you have a crazy number of things to look at. So I have mine divided between my company videos, my gamer videos, and just videos I do for fun. So let's say I'm working on something for my company. I'll click on the folder and I have here the projects that I'm currently working on. Actually, I have it listed by client, so I have 2 projects for this client and 1. You can see how many projects are in each folder. So let's create a new folder and call this tutorials. And I spelled it very wrong, but that's okay. And we'll go into that folder and create the new project. So just click on new project, and that's easy. T1 for tutorial 1, since I can't spell, and create. And just like that, we're ready to go. So the first thing I like to do is check my project settings. Hit File, Project Settings down here. And here's where you're able to change the canvas in which you're working in. So, excuse me. Right now we're currently at 1080p, but you can easily change that to 8K, 4K, depending on what version of DaVinci Resolve you have. For now, we'll stick to 1080p. If you want to change the frames that you want your video to be in, you can do that here as well. And save. So the tabs for DaVinci Resolve are Media, Cut, Edit, Fusion, Color, Fairlight, and Deliver. And for the sake of basics and getting started, we will cover today Media, Edit, and Deliver. We'll get into the other ones later down the line. So let's begin. So let's go into the media page. Now all the stuff we do in the media page can be done in the edit page. This is just a way to kind of keep things clean and organized, but I will show you how to do both. So you come over here to the master, and this is where you're going to create all the folders for all the media that you're going to bring into DaVinci Resolve. Now you can just bring all the videos in here and just have a cluster of videos if you like that kind of thing. But for me, I like to keep things organized, so I'm going to show you guys how to do it that way. So the first thing I do under master is you can either bring all your videos in there or create a folder. And the way you create a folder is you right click on this section and create a new bin. And then we'll name that one our B-roll bin, for example. And we'll create another bin for your A-roll shots. And then I'll create another one for like my audio, music, and so on and so on. You can see how much you can do. So here's your folders, right? You can either select them here or select them here. So now let's bring in our B-roll. I'm in the B-roll folder now. And in this big area, you just right click it and import media. Go to the designated folder where you saved whatever you want. I don't have B-roll right now, so I'm going to use this. Took a squad of 3 by myself. Sounds nice. Open that in there. And then this will come up sometimes. So the reason this is coming up is because the project settings, as you guys saw earlier, was set to 24 frames per second. Now my gaming footage is caught at 60 frames per second, and that's why this came up. So it's basically asking me, do I want the video to conform to the 24 frames in the project, or do I want the project to change to 60 frames to meet the requirements of the video? So you select whatever you want, it doesn't matter. You can always change it. Just go back to File, Project Settings, and you see we changed it. So now it's at 60, and I'm perfectly happy with that. Cancel. And now that's how you bring in a video. And you can just bring in all your B-roll, bring in all your A-rolls, bring in all your audio, and now you have an organized folder pack to work from. Like I said before, you could do this on the Edit tab. So that's pretty much all you do in the Media tab. Let's go to the Edit tab. Once you're there, you can see it. If this is not coming up for you, it will be under Media Pool up here. Hit Media Pool, and there's your master with all your separate folders. So it's just like you did it over there. Let's bring in A-roll shots, for example. Now this is your folder. Right click, import media, and select whatever media you want, and there it is. Same thing as when we were in the media. There's no difference. Cool. So let's start bringing in objects into the timeline. Pretty straightforward. You can just click, drag, and now your whole video is in the timeline. Zoom in or zoom out using this tab here. And your options are pretty basic, just like any editing software. You can grab it and cut it. You can grab this blade, the cocaine blade, and just cut your cocaine. Or you can import things the way you want to import them, and I'll show you how to do that. So let's delete this. And let's say this took a squad of 3 by myself. That's what I want to put in this video. So I'm going to use this little scroll button here and scroll it to the part that I want. Alright, so where is that team attacking me? Right there, right? So let's say I want to start it here. With my thing selected here, I'll right click it and mark in. Once the whole action is over, because I only want the action, there we go. I just mark out. And now I have 3 options. I could bring the whole clip, I could bring just the video, or just the audio. So for this example, I'll bring the whole clip, grab the clip, and just drag it, and now only that selection will appear. Right now the timeline has shifted to whatever is here. If I want to find the video again, I just select the video and hit F for find, and now it's back to our selection. So if I wanted to bring video, I just select video and it'll bring in the video. If I just want the audio, I select the audio and just bring the audio. So for example, let's say you didn't bring the audio for this clip and you have like a bunch of clips over here, right? And then you're like, damn, I want to bring in the audio. How can I find it? Like once you have a long list, it's kind of hard to find. All you do is you click on the video and hit F. Boom, it found the video that was stored here, and now you can just bring that audio in. Boop, and you're all set. So that's how you pretty much get videos in there, how you cut them. Pretty simple. One thing I do want to show you is DaVinci Resolve. Let's make this a bigger clip. DaVinci Resolve automatically moves things for you when you delete them. For example, if we're editing a video and I want to get rid of this part, when you delete it, it'll shift everything to the left. If you don't want that to happen, just hit this lock key right here, then delete it, and everything will stay right where it is. You have to be very careful because whenever you delete stuff, it just shifts. So use the locking tool to keep things where they are, then unlock it, and now you can move things around. Because once it's locked, you can't move it. So always keep an eye. If you ever can't move a clip, it's probably because it's locked. Also, this tab here is for linking. So I just unlinked the audio from the video so you could move things separately. And then if you relink it up, things will move together. And then you just edit the video like you normally would in any other editing software. If you want to do some fade-ins, there's always the effects library up here. And you have your video transitions which you can add. I personally prefer automating. So the way you do that is you expand this and you select what you want to automate. For example, the composite opacity is what I want to change. I'll bring it down and click this button right here. Boom. Now you see it appeared, the automation tab appeared here. I just click on it and there's my opacity. You can change whatever you want to automate here. I'll hit Alt, click to make my points, and then I'll move them up. This is kind of a long fade. And now when you play it, oh, I see one up here.
Oh my god.
Got one. Perfectly done in a matter of seconds. If you want a speed ramp, you go to here and read time speed. And now this will change the speed of it. You create your points again. You know, bring up what you want to bring up. If you run out of room here, all you do is you click on this number and you drag it down, and now you have more space to really like. And maybe that was a little too fast, but that's basically how it works. You can just click on this as well, round it up using this, click select this one, round it up here, and you can play with it and do your speed ramps as you normally would. So that's the basics of the editing tab and the media tab. I could go into a little bit of the color tab too. It's pretty simple. Go into the color tab, and here's your basic settings. You can change in these dots right here. Your lift, gamma, gain, offset. The one on the outside is offset, highlights, midtones, and shadows, and they work just like any software. Thing about DaVinci Resolve is very precise and very powerful, so it's easy to go too far. So a little bit goes a long way when working in DaVinci Resolve. And I'll get into this color tab in a later video, but it's very powerful and there's so many things you can do. Here's your curves if you need to use your curves. Also, if you keep flipping, you have your hue versus hue curve, your hue versus saturation, hue versus luma, luma versus saturation. All those options are here. And then here is your scopes. You have waveform, your parade for your white balance, your waveform for your exposure, your vectorgram. Interesting thing about the vectorgram is it has this line here. That's where your skin tones want to sit. Again, I'll get that in a later video. But if it's not on, it's usually somewhere right here. Show skin tone indicator. If it's not on, just turn it on, and you'll have that indicator for your skin tones. And we'll get into all that in a later video, but that's pretty much the basics of the color tab. And then once you're done, click on your delivery tab, name it whatever you want to name it, save it wherever you want to save it. Here's your format. Always do MP4 H.264. You can choose if you want your CPU or your GPU to export the video. You could change the resolution that you want to export it in, your frames. Then in audio, you can change your audio settings, your file settings again. Once you're happy with everything, add to render queue. Save it where you want to save it, or put it in the desktop, and then add to render queue. And now it's in this list. You just hit start rendering, and it'll render the video for you. And you're all set. That's pretty much the basics, and that should be enough information to get you guys started with DaVinci Resolve. Any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments below, and get creating. Thank you so much. Bye.